I want to ask you about the border. Would you call the border secure?
I think that there is no question that we have to do what the president and I asked Congress to do. Is the first request we made: pass a bill to create a pathway to citizenship. The border is secure, but we also have a broken immigration system, in particular over the last 4 years before we came in, and it needs to be fixed.
We're going to have 2 million people cross this border for the first time ever. You're confident this border is secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration. But there are still a lot of problems that we are trying to fix, given the deterioration that happened over the last 4 years. We also have to put in place a law and a plan for a pathway for citizenship for the millions of people who are here and are prepared to do what is legally required to gain citizenship. We don't have that in place because people are playing politics in a state like this and in Congress. By the way, you want to talk about bipartisanship on an issue that at one time was a bipartisan issue, both in terms of Republican senators and even presidents.
Right now, one of our inflationary problems is we don't have enough labor, particularly in the service economy.
You're right.
A solution on immigration reform that increased, particularly lower wage labor, could actually have an impact on lowering inflation. How is that not the motivating force to get something done here?
I do believe that for all reasonable people are motivated and desirous that we would get something done. I think a big part of the problem, though, is that there's been political gamesmanship with this issue. It's suggesting that it's a zero-sum game. If you want to deal with the issue, there are practical solutions, which include creating a pathway to citizenship, fixing a broken immigration system, dealing with the root causes of why people are fleeing their home when most people don't want to leave home. And if they do, it's usually because they're fleeing some harm or they simply can't take care of their basic needs if they stay. There are solutions. And sadly, this has become such a partisan issue instead of something where we work on it together, agreeing that what we're doing is not working as a nation. It's not working.
Yes, there is more to come, including Vice President Harris's plans for 2024. But when we come back, we're going to take a break and get some reaction from our panel to this interview, so stay with us. Welcome back. Panel is here. Michelle Sendor, moderator of Washington Week on PBS. Amy Walter, the editor-in-chief of the Cook Political Report. Republican political consultant Matt Gorman, and former Democratic Senator Claire McCaskill. Welcome.
Hey, my name is Vera Richardson, and under the Fair Use Doctrine, I used part of the Meet the Press September 11, 2022 segment with host Chuck Todd. In my opinion, Chuck Todd has demonstrated, I think he's been the host for 6 years now. I think he celebrated 5 or 6 year anniversary. And it's obvious, it should be obvious, that he is pro-Republican and anti-Democrats. The fact that in such a program that's been on the air, the longest running program on national TV, is hosted by Chuck Todd, it's a travesty, because just like, I think that was an ambush question to Senator Harris, and it had to be well organized. I just realized, I saw it on the Sunday that it aired, but I just realized that he said they were in Texas. And then less than before the next segment of Meet the Press could air, we had the Texas governor involved with and I'm gonna use the word conspiracy, with the Florida governor to send the bus migrants, people who came to this country with the hopes and dreams of migrants before them, to bus them to DC, and also to Vice President Harris, where she lived. This is not a coincidence. And that being said, I believe that the Democrats, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, we must do something that will get out the vote, because get out the black vote, black females in particular, because we know that that group, which I'm a part of, will be voting for Democrats. No one can say that, oh, they voted for Republicans. That's not happening. And the fact that a lot of people and even posters are saying, truthfully, that more people are registering to vote than, I guess, I don't know if it's a history of the midterms, but it's a high increase in voter registration, which should lead to voter participation on November the 8th, 2022. We know that former President Trump got the second highest number of votes in the history of America in a presidential election. So those people, I don't know if they're still motivated with everything that's going on with him, but they are registered voters. And the only way to counter that is to do something to get out the black vote and get it out. So it'll be the number's too large to steal in a midterm election. I recently was diagnosed with cancer, and I used to say that I wanted to get some, and this is going to be a brief part of it, I'll go into the other part later, some justice for entitled disability retirement from New York State Department of Correctional Services, because I wanted to bless my 89-year-old aunt while she's still alive. But with me having my diagnosis, and it's not, I'm not claiming it's going to be, or the end, of me, but that fact makes me even more determined to fight and to get involved as much as I can in trying to defeat the Republican Party and trying to call out people like Chuck Todd, people like what's this in the the mainstream media that's pro Trump and pro Republican. Oh, Joe Scarborough. Joe Scarborough, and I'll just say go Joe Scarborough. I'll do another video to make my concerns known about him and Mika, a husband and wife team that got together when they were both married to other people and working together. And now they have a 3-hour show 5 days a week. Joe Scarborough, who still won't call President Obama. And when Hurricane Sandy came, during President Obama's term, it must have been in the second, well, her second term during that election cycle. He said, Jesus loves Obama. He believed that Hurricane Sandy saved President Obama, helped him to get reelected. So between Chuck Todd and Joe Scarborough, we need to vote in record numbers African American females in 2022. Thanks.